Greetings, sports fans, ASMR Sports. Back with you today for a magazine of vintage baseball cards magazine review. I have a fairly extensive collection of both Baseball Cards magazine and its cousin, Sports Cards magazine, from 89 or so to about like 94. I bought them all from a local card shop that used to be in business, and yeah, there's been kind of sitting around. I've looked through a number of them over the years, but not nearly all of them. So I thought it would be fun to dig in. I might do more of these if you guys enjoy this sort of vintage collecting content. I know I really like these magazines and checking them out and seeing old prices of stuff. There's a lot of ads. Mostly these magazines, as with pretty much all magazines, are advertisements, but the advertisements are very interesting because there's lots of things in there being sold, especially unopened stuff, and a lot of like vintage unopened stuff that the prices are quite shocking given the appreciation that's happened, especially in the last really 3, 4, 5 years with vintage unopened. So let's check it out. This is April 1989. Unfortunately, it looks kind of like the top part doesn't quite focus. Oh, actually there. Focus. Hopefully we'll keep that. It's got Downey Baseballs, April 89, $2.75 is what this cost back in the day. With inflation, I mean, this was, like 35 years ago, 34 years ago. Probably like a, I don't know, $8 magazine, which I think is, what magazines cost these days. So, Downey Baseball. And of course, back then, Gary Sheffield, Ricky Jordan, all the 89 rookies were big deal. Alright, I'm going to try something. Hopefully this doesn't kill the recording, but yeah, okay, I just unplugged my phone because I kind of want to show you guys some of the close-ups here, but this is an ad from Larry Fridge Cards, which I believe still exists today. But as you can see, 42nd year in business, and this was 1989, so these guys, have been around since, or have been around since like the 70s, I guess. Pretty crazy. Actually, that would be like the 60s, wouldn't it? But I don't know if that's true. I feel like no card shop that exists today is around the 60s, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, well, there you go. First time, I guess, barely. 1970, May 1, 1970. But just lots of football sets, baseball sets, and different series of older sets. Hopefully nobody gets motion sickness from this. But next we have Hall's Nostalgia. I've seen these guys ad before, and looks like these guys are certainly not around in Arlington, Mass. I lived for many years in Cambridge, Mass. And for a lot of the time that I was there, there was actually a card shop in Cambridge. But that was at a time that I really didn't collect very much, so I would pass by there occasionally, and once or twice I popped in there and bought a pack or two of cards. But yeah, there's nothing in Cambridge now. I think there's a kind of a newer shop in Somerville, Massachusetts, which is kind of between Cambridge and Boston. And Arlington is also very close, and there's definitely nothing there. I would have found it and gone there probably during my latter years in the Boston area. Kit Young here is another long-time seller. Boy, it looks very jittery when I do that. I really think there should be better, like, motion anti-jitter. But this is just individual cards of star players. You can see Eddie Matthews, Sandy Koufax, Arm Killebrew. And it's got the condition here, X Mint and Excellent Mint and VGX, very good, excellent. So they would just self-grade the cards and tell you what they are, you know, based on that assessment, and you would kind of buy them blindly. Here we got kind of reader's right is what they call this in Beckett. This is called reader reaction. Maybe we'll read this one. Says, gentlemen, great mantle checklist in the December 1988 issue. 2 missing I caught, 1961 top number 307 World Series Game 2 mantle 2 home runs, and 1965 number 134 clutch homer. Please publish a list of added starters. Okay. Over here we've got San Diego Sports Collectibles, and they've got some baseball sets, baseball collector kits, reprints, a lot of kind of 1800s to mid 1900s reprint sets used to be able to buy back then. This is a Texas Sports Card Company. They got a lot of random stuff like sticker cards, sets, and these little circular cards. I believe were some kind of like food issue. Topps Tiffany singles. Look at this. 87 Topps. Mike Greenwell Tiffany, $39.95. That's probably $1 card these days, even in a Tiffany. Mattingly, $39.95. Conseco, $59.95 for a second year. Conseco. Amazing. So these are examples of cards that have, you know, gone through the floor in terms of value. And pretty much anything from the era, you know, that this came out in, like 87, 88, 89, you're going to see prices in this magazine that are radically higher than the value now. But anything that's kind of like from before, I don't know, 86, that's advertising here is probably going to be, you know, much lower than what it goes for now. So here's the kind of thing I just love. This is unopened wax packs, vending boxes, wax boxes, rack boxes, cello boxes, and they go all the way back on these to 1978. So let's take, for example, unopened wax box, 1978 unopened wax box, right here. $299.95 today. That's probably, gee whiz, I have to think about that. I think that's probably like a $7,000 or $8,000 box if you find a deal, but can be more than that. And you know, in the 2020, 2021, you know, sports card mania, those were probably twice as much. Here's some more recent unopened wax boxes. Donruss, 84 Donruss wax box, $280. Now back then, this was a hot commodity because this guy, Donnie Baseball, as a rookie in '84 Donruss, that back then was probably one of the best cards of the '80s you could own. However, I can tell you right now, these '84 Donruss wax boxes right now go for about $800, $700 to $800, and during the pandemic they were up to like $1,500 a piece. And yeah, what I really love to see, which I don't see here, they have basketball sets and football sets, and they go, look at this, guys, '86 Fleer basketball set, $29.95. So that's got Jordan rookie, it's got Charles Barkley rookie, it's got Karl Malone rookie, it's got just a million rookies, but just the Jordan alone, like in a PSA 7, which is probably what you'd get out of something like this, maybe an 8. That's probably I don't know, a couple $1,000 card. Get the whole set, and this 80-81, that's got the Bird Johnson, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird rookie. Those are also $29.95. So man, well, look at this. It says at least 95% mint. So if they truly were, And look at this. You can get all the way back to like 72, 73, 74. So I think trying to think what Julius Erving had a rookie in one of these, like, gosh, was it 74? I don't know. There's some good rookies in some of these. Man, just crazy cheap. I'd really love to see if we could find a box of '86 Fleer basketball. This is a lot of supplies. Here's an ad from Mr. Mint, the guy who used to go around like to card shows and set up a table and just buy collections. And he would buy, collections of any value. Well, I mean, there was no value too high. He would give you $1 million if you walked in there with a bunch of Mantle rookies, and he actually did buy a collection of Mantles. 52 Topps Mantles. That's kind of a well-known, famous purchase of his. More collector supplies. 88 baseball cards, kind of worthless. You'd see a lot of, around this time frame, you see a lot of ads like this, and this is basically you can buy, individual cards of the entire 88, 89 Topps baseball run, as investments, and looks like it says 25 card lots up there. You can't see it, but they have some larger lots, like 100 and 500 card lots over here on the left, but these are all in 25 card lots, and that's a price per card. So if you want those Sheffields, $1.60 a piece. And I've learned only recently that a lot of the guys that sold these 50, 100, 200 card lots of different players from the current year, what they did is they bought like cases of vending boxes, which are the boxes that I think they have like 400 cards in them, and they're not wrapped, or they're just in a box. So yeah, you buy those, you sort, you pay some kid to sort through thousands and thousands of cards, and then you've got all these player lots. And Topps also, depending on when you were in the year, they also sold these box, I think they call them like cut cards, and they'd have cut card cases, which they were sort of a step beyond vending boxes. They would just be a large cardboard box with rows of baseball cards just directly in the box, no inner box at all. And they were just like heavy as all heck, because there's just a ton of cardboard in that box. It's like the most number of cards you can fit in a cardboard box. Went in there and there was like 5,000, actually it's more than that, it was like probably 10 or 20,000 cards in those boxes. And they were the cheapest product you could buy on a per card basis, so they were perfect for wise. But I think those generally did not come out at the beginning of the year. You'd have to wait a little bit to get those. Here's another, singles. These are all current year singles of the entire 89 Topps baseball. Here's just someone selling factory sets, or hand collated and factory sets. Oh man, look at this. Take you down here. There is a. Right there, you see 88 Fleer basketball box, $18 shipped. Oh gosh, I wish I would have bought some of that. But it's funny. I remember being like in my local convenience store that had sports cards, and they didn't have any baseball cards, and that's what I wanted. That's what everybody wanted back then. This was about 1987, and then they'd get a box of hockey cards or a box of Fleer basketball cards, and just because I had to have some cards to open, and there was no baseball cards there, I bought a few packs of those, and I just hated them. I mean, they were fun to open and look at, but they had no value back then. You pull an 87 Fleer Jordan out of one of those packs, and no one's going to trade you for it. No one's going to buy it at a card show. They have no value. They had no value, so I can see why they were selling for so low, because nobody wanted those things. It's just crazy. Boy, if only I'd been a little smarter and put something away like that. These 88 Fleer basketball boxes right now, they go for, I think they're about $3,000 to $4,000 right now, but in the height of the pandemic boom, they were like $8,000 or $9,000 a piece. So more kind of content. Looks like they're ranking the top players by position. First base ranking is Don Mattingly first. Andres Galarraga second. George Brett third. Fred McGriff fourth, and Ken Herbeck. So of these five, Fred McGriff now just recently in the Hall of Fame, George Brett in the Hall of Fame, and Don Mattingly in the not in the Hall of Fame, but he's in my Hall of Fame. So only two of them. And up-and-comers, none of these guys were Hall of Famers. Let's look at the outfielders. Oh, this is going to be kind of interesting. There you go, the top 10 outfielders. Eric Davis, Tim Raines in the Hall of Fame, Tony Gwynn is in the Hall of Fame, Joe Carter's not, Kirby Puckett is, Ellis Burke's not, Rick Anderson is, Jose not, Strawberry not, Vance Lake not. Just some miscellaneous oddball sets there. This is kind of cool. This is actually an advertisement for the first ever, Upper Deck baseball cards, 1989 baseball Upper Deck. Old school advertising. Introducing the premiere edition of the Collector's Choice 3D Team Logo holograms and baseball cards from the Upper Deck company. So pretty cool. It's the first glimpse we ever got of kind of a premium, traditional pack and box distributed product ever. I mean, this was before Stadium Club. This is before Fleer Ultra. This is before, the oodles and oodles of cards that came out beginning in basically 1991. The hobby sort of caught on that this premium card business was a good one to be in, and then every manufacturer of sports cards came out with, premium products. But Upper Deck in 1989 and 1990 kind of had the whole market to themselves, but they only did baseball in 89, and then in 1990 they did basketball and football. I believe that's right. I can't remember if it was 91 they first did basketball and football, but stuff. So interesting. Here's an interesting little side. So these two pages here are ads for the Scoreboard Inc., which was a hobby shop, and I believe that was the hobby shop owned by Ken Golden. And he ended up getting in trouble for something that he did during that time. I can't remember if it was like an autograph, like fraudulent autographs or something like that. But yeah, I think pretty sure he got like, criminally charged for something, and then kind of went away for a while. Now he's back and runs Golden Auctions. Here we got more top guys at each position. Bunch of baseball sets, football sets. Must have basketball. Yeah, basketball sets. They go back to only 78. Oh, there's some 78, 79. Yeah, that's it. More top position players, more singles to buy in bulk. Here's their special section on Donnie Baseball. Oh man. A little bit of everything, this is. The 1989s are upon us. So, this is all, looks like factory sets of all the 89 baseball products. This is, let's see, just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, different sets and uncut sheets in here. Still no sight of an 86 basketball box. Here's Howard's. This is a Don Mattingly checklist over here. Baseball's best 88 Donruss. They did that set for a number of years. I think they did that through like 91 or something maybe. 88 Donruss wax box. $13.95. Not a bad deal back then. 20 for 260. It's funny, that's a case, and just earlier today I saw somebody was selling a bunch of cases of 88 Donruss baseball for $250 each with shipping. So and this is it says $10 shipping for 10 boxes, exact postage for 20. So this is actually selling 88 Donruss for more than it sells for now. Not by much, but it's kind of crazy. But again, anything from the era that this magazine was in, it's going to be more valuable back then than it is now, which is sort of crazy. But some collector. So these are kind of fun. Baseball Cards magazine and some of the other publications that this publisher made had little, these are kind of cardboard uncut cards that they'd slip in here, and there's these three, and then later in here there's, I'll show you right now, there's the other half. So it's like it's a one sheet that they put in there and bend it in half. So we got Wade Boggs. Chris Sabo, of course, was the hot young rookie back then. Never really did much. He was around for a few years, but not like a superstar or anything. More Don Mattingly checklist. Here's looks like a bunch of individual vintage cards, some complete sets. More sets. Kind of funny how sets were sort of the most predominant thing advertised, and presumably the most predominant thing that got sold by dealers back then. Nowadays, complete sets, of course, are just a non-issue. Nobody really wants to buy them. More supplies. Something I want to see. They have like penny sleeves in here. I don't see them, but I was going to see. Oh, there we go. polypropylene sleeves. So they only have basically, well, that's a pack of 10 for $10. So basically, they're charging $1 a pack, and that's basically what you'd pay these days for, a pack of sleeves. At your local card shop, they probably would charge you like $1.99 actually, but you can easily find them for $1. If you buy a whole case, you can get them for like 60 cents a bag. So it's kind of funny how sleeves are, in my view, sort of inflation-proof. They cost now basically what they cost in '89. So it's sort of funny how some things just never inflate, and some things really, really do. Kind of like, a box of flagship baseball cards, let's say Topps, like a box of 89 Topps back then, $15 now, it's like $100. Although just a few years ago, they were like $50 or $60 for a box of flagship Topps. So even in the last several years, things have just inflated more so in the sports card industry than the rest of the world. Though the rest of the world is inflating now too. Just on the lookout for more basketball, but not seeing it. Here's some basketball sets. This is a fun little image up here. It's a 1975 Topps rack pack. I feel like I actually just saw somebody sell one of these 75s with bread on top, which is actually a very rare thing because apparently that particular card did not show up very often at all on the front of these wax packs. Never mind the fact that rack packs. Never mind the fact that finding a rack pack like this these days, very difficult. It looks like they were selling for $28.95 a piece. Nowadays, you'd probably pay well over $1,000, I think, for just a generic rack pack. And that George Brett one I was saying just sold the other day that I saw, I think was going for like $7,000. So, not small amounts of money we're talking about here. Baseball updates, some kind of like magazine sort of subscription you can get. More rookie cards. Oh, this is kind of fun. They have a buy column on the left and a sell column on the right, so you can sort of see the spread, and it's not like crazy like Wade Boggs. They would buy his 83 Fleer for $14 and they'd sell it for $16. Which I gotta say, that's a smaller profit margin than I think dealers try to extract these days. Lots and lots of lots. Mega drag racing cards, new product. Trying to cash in on the booming sports card market. It's, this 89 period of time was really the height of the, card market back then. And after about like 1991 or so, was when the crash really started to happen. And they were producing so much of every product at that point that it just became totally worthless for many, 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 many years. Here's their price guide. This is a pretty small price guide compared to like Tough Stuff, which had a very thick price guide in the middle of it. There's Jose Canseco 86 Donruss for $55. Let's see who else was in that famous 86 Donruss set. Fred McGriff rookie, $4.50. Fun stuff. Baseball. Let's see who the big names. Greg Jeffries. Oh yeah, you definitely wanted some Greg Jeffries in your life. Back then, $7 for that one. Bunch of errors that are $3, but nothing else I think is anywhere near what like Greg Jeffries went for. Actually, I bet the Mark Grace in here was probably worth. Yeah, Mark Grace was worth $3 right over here. '89 Flair, of course, the Griffey would have been probably the most valuable card in that set back then. He was, a hot prospect right out the gate. Trying to see if I can find it here. Ricky Jordan was $2 up there. Man, where's Griff? Can't find him. Very strange. Very strange. Oh, there it is. Only $1.50 for the Griff right there. Can't see it, but 89 Upper Deck is listed in this one too. So, which was that? That Griff. Oh wow, that's funny. Look at that. Now I'm going to show you the Griffey Jr. in Upper Deck was only $1.50, the same price as the Fleer, and the Greg Jeffries was worth $2.50, even though that's like a second-year card for him. So it's kind of crazy how that card was not really valued highly when it first came out, but eventually it was, definitely seen as more valuable than the, Fleer and Donruss cards of Griffey even back then. And nowadays, of course, it's significantly more valuable, like 10x more valuable. I'll get a couple of color pages here. New stuff. More sets and single lots. Kind of boring. Jose Canseco and his Worth Bat advertisement. Very nice. So I think we're gonna the BBC 100. Wow, okay. Gary Sheffield, Ramon Martinez, Cameron Drew, Luis Medina, David West, Mike Harkey. Mike Harkey was the bullpen coach for the Yankees for a very long time. Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer, Ron Jones, Ricky Jordan, Sandy Alomar Jr., Ken Griffey, Luis De Los Santos, Tom Gordon was at that point he was a starter, I believe, but he ended up being a reliever, after his first few seasons and played for the Yankees, was on some of their championship teams, quite successful as a reliever. So lots of, these 89 rookies, most of whom did not pan out. John Smoltz is in the numbers 26 to 50 column. Of course, he had an amazing career. Hall of Famer. Trying to see anybody else who had a good career, but I'm not seeing any. No names that really did good. Basketball there. Nobody from there. Dante Bichette had kind of a decent career, but not a star really. Kevin Brown was a very solid pitcher for a good number of years. Joe Girardi. Keep open. There was one of the, kind of ultimate Hall of Famers in here, but I guess I would know because their rookie card would be in 89 products, and of course I know the 89 rookies that are in the Hall of Fame from 89 products, so high draftees, generally speaking. Alright, here we got the card show calendar. I don't think usually North Dakota, the state I'm in, does not get any love. In fact, when they had card shows here, they generally were in the neighboring town of Moorhead, Minnesota. That's where I used to go to card shows. I think occasionally they would be in North Dakota, but the good ones were in the neighboring town in Minnesota. But I don't see them listed here. There's one for Rochester, one for St. Cloud. We got some classified ads over here. There's people looking to buy stuff or sell stuff but don't want to buy one of these, graphic ads. So it's kind of funny, so we know that, 86 basketball, 87 basketball, really any vintage basketball from the 70s or 80s was, very low value back in these days. And yet there's not much of it listed, and I bet that's probably because there's just so little demand for it. They didn't want to waste the dollars, on these nice expensive ads. So probably shops would have it, but you'd have to go and sort of find it. Around where I was, I don't think they had it though. I didn't ever see it in card shops. So they have football cards, and I want to see if there's no basketball collection, just football and hockey and baseball. Let's hoping there'd be basketball. We're on the last page here. Sets. Boy, this is crazy. Look at this. Oh, these are... Okay, I guess this is all buying. But they got all these, 1940s and 50s sets. 48 leaf, buying for $8,000. They have 52 tops in here. Interesting. They don't have 52 tops. I guess they weren't buying it. All these sets are smaller, kind of regional food sets. Guess they weren't interested in the flagship, like Tops and Bowman. Interesting stuff. Alright, last page right there, and on the back another Fritsch cards ad. So there you go. It's a little bit of a time capsule of the sports card industry. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I really love looking through these things. And I may just kind of go in order here from April 1989 forward, forward in time. I guess backwards in time. No, I don't know. I want to go, the more recent one after this, and then after that, the next most recent one. So, yeah, let me know what you think of these old magazines, and hopefully I can do some more. People enjoy them. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you're doing well. Staying relaxed out there, and yeah, keeping safe. All right, bye now.